everyone, welcome to this week's edition of the Sports Chat. I'm your host Gerald, and with me in the studio is my co-host
Elias Mwenda.
Hi Elias, how are you doing?
Fine, thanks. How are you, Gerald?
I'm alright, thank you. What do we have for the people today?
So for today we have three stories. The first one is about Nkana Queens being suspended from the league after beating the referee.
Pajik and Naidu become the second cohort of Zambians to join the Tokyo 2020-2021 Olympics and representing the country.
So the third and final story for today, we have Frank Lampard being appointed as new Crystal Palace head coach.
For more of these stories, please catch us on the flip side.
Welcome back, our dear viewers, and the first story that we have for you is about Nkana Queens beating the referee and being suspended from the league. This is due to the ways of officiating the match by the referee, where he disallowed 2 goals which were claimed by Nkana Queens to say that they were clear goals. So, Gerard, I have a question for you. What do you think these teams need to do in order for them to avoid such acts whereby they feel that the match was poorly officiated by the referee?
Well, Elias, I feel there are always rules of engagement. I mean, if I wrong you, the first thing that should come to your mind is not to hit me or punch me. The first thing you'd want to ask is why I did something. So I feel that applies even in the world of football. There are rules that must be followed. So if Nkana Queens decides to just overlook those rules and do things as they please, I feel football will become a game of hooligans, and a lot of hooliganism will be involved in football. So let them follow the chains of command next time. I feel maybe because it's a team of young people, so they may be not be so acquainted to the rules and everything. But in a later stage, I feel let them find ways of engaging the officials, and of course find ways of talking to people in a calm manner, so that next time we don't have beating up of referees. The
final question that I have for you on this particular story is that what do teams need to learn from this thing or the scandal that took place?
First of all, I'd love to commend FAS for taking the step that it did. I feel it was appropriate, and I feel that in future they must do so. We've had cases, Elias. This is not the first time. We've had case scenarios where, especially in Nkana, I don't know what's wrong with Nkana.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of beatings here and there, a lot of things happen, stoning of players and so on and so forth. So this is a commendation to FAS. I commend you, and of course I wish that you continue in future to continue doing what you've done. What we are learning from this, our takeaway is that football is not a game of hooliganism, as I've already alluded to, Elias. Football is a profession, it is a discipline, and so everybody who is involved must behave in a certain way. And I feel especially for our female folks, female are built in such a special way that you expect them to be calm about things and discuss. So it is a lesson for everybody who's in the football fraternity that next time find ways of engagement, engage the people properly, so that we don't have situations like the ones that occurred in the Copper Belt.
Thank you very much, Gerard, for that proper report analysis. And for the second story, catch us on the flip side.
Welcome back. In our second story on the show, Tilka Pajik and Cameron Naidu become the second cohort of Zambians to make it to the Tokyo 2020-2021 Olympics. Now, their qualification was ruled by the Zambia Olympics Association on the basis of universality, and hence the two qualified and will represent the country during the Tokyo Olympics. Elias, what do you think the team should do for them to excel?
Okay, so these guys, they have achieved great things so far, so I have to congratulate them. So for them to excel more, they need to know which things they have to approach and which appropriate things they have to do and the exercises they have to do in order for them to excel more. So it's just a matter of preparations and exercises.
And what do you think they need? Acclimatization, basic needs? Do they need to live closer to the stage that they'll be using? What do you think they need as they prepare for this tournament?
Okay, so basically it's about accommodation, if I can get your question properly. So it's about accommodation. So they need to stay, or they need to be camping near the stadium where they'll be doing their competitions. So they need proper clothing which are necessary for their sport. Sport in particular, and the weather in Tokyo. I think that's all that they need.
Well put, Elias. But then one thing that might come into thinking just now, just some time back, Pajik was saying that she needed a Zambian coach, and that because she was representing Zambia and living in South Africa, and all other issues rose. What do you think about that? Do you still think that she has to change the coach, or maybe the one that she has now and who has qualified her for that fact should continue?
Well, it's about if someone failed you, then it doesn't mean that you have to take them again. So this coach has, qualified her. So it means that I think this is the coach that she was talking about, and this is the right coach for her.
Indeed, well put. For our next story, do catch us on the flip side.
Welcome back, and the third and final story we have for you is about Frank Lampard being appointed by Crystal Palace as their new head coach for the 2021 and 2022 season, following the retirement of their current coach, who is Loy, who has stayed at the club for a long time. So Gerald, what do you think about the things that Frank Lampard is going to bring at Palace?
Well, first of all, Elias, Frank Lampard may not be a youth, but I feel he'll bring in the youth touch to the team. The team has been coached by Roy Hodgson, a 73-year-old man. He's a well-experienced coach, if you ask me. And come on, it's time to retire for him. Frank Lampard is bringing a lot to the team. Crystal Palace has not won any major trophies in a very long time. So I feel this is a chance for Crystal Palace to win some trophies. And of course, I feel Frank Lampard is the man for the job.
So Gerald, what do you think about what Lampard needs to do in order for him to improve the squad that he has, that he's going to find rather at Crystal Palace?
Well, Elias, Frank Lampard will obviously need to buy new players. We know for a fact that he's eyeing players like Tammy Abraham. Also, we have players like Ross Beckley and of course Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So I feel those are among the players that he might consider. There's also Rice, if you ask me. Rice might also be one of the players that he will consider. So if he has to make changes, I feel those are the most predictable changes that he might make. And I feel because of this, the game at Crystal Palace will be a whole different game. Frank Lampard is taking over from Roy. Roy has left the team in considerably good shape because Roy has kept them in the league for a long time. They've never been in relegation for a long time. So I feel the team has been in limbo, so to say. But then Frank Lampard is the man who's going to set the ball rolling. And of course, maybe we might see him make the team carry a trophy or two at the end of the season.
In addition to what Gerald you've said, we hope that Frank Lampard is going to achieve a lot of great things at Crystal Palace, despite him being sacked by Chelsea this very year in January. So that marks the end of the Sports Chat today. I'm your presenter, Elias Mwenda. So for more information about the Sports Chat, do catch us on the following social media platforms, which is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also YouTube. The channel is Unza Digital Media Hub.
And I've been your co-host Gerald Unoi. On behalf of our production crew, our director Mr. Emmanuel Richie, and our camera lady Elizabeth Marianne Mutoma, it's bye-bye till next time.